Good morning and welcome back to Latrobe, Pennsylvania here on the Westmoreland Sports Network for Day 2 of the Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament as we bring you Game 1 of the day, an elimination showdown between Greater Pittston and Falls. Alongside Roger Downs, Jack Ridenauer here with you. And Roger, like I mentioned, elimination game, both teams losing yesterday, so a lot on the line, obviously, coming into the week, but the pressure starts to heighten when your backs are against the wall.
Yeah, anytime you find yourself in the loser's bracket, Jack, not a very, very good feeling. Right now, if you win today's game between Falls and Greater Pittston, win and move on, lose and basically go home. So I look to see the best out of both of these teams again. Both of these teams played fairly well yesterday. I thought all of the games yesterday were fairly competitive, games 1, 2, 3, and 4. But here we are again on a beautiful morning in Latrobe, PA, and a shout-out to the grounds crew here at Rosa-Oglietti Park. We had a rainstorm last night. We had another rainstorm earlier today. Many of the members of the ground crew felt we might not get started until noon or later, but here we are, only about an hour or so off the scheduled start time. I was on the field talking to the ground crew, walking about. The field is in really, really tip-top shape.
Yes, Roger, I know that you had mentioned that you would go out and check it yourself, so good thing that you did that. But mentioning a little bit about, obviously, the elimination factor, the reason why that these two teams are in that boat, it's because they lost yesterday. Looking at Greater Pittston, they fell to Quakertown 4-0. Hunter Lowell was the losing pitcher in that game. He threw 110 pitches for Greater Pittston. And over for Falls, they really had a struggling time, to say the least, against Charleroi as they lost 10-0 in a 5-inning game. Ultimately, were mercy ruled. But getting you set for this one, we'll take a look at the Greater Pittston lineup, and we'll run through also the defensive alignment for Falls as well. Leading off for Greater Pittston, the shortstop Jeremy Cawley. Batting second, the second baseman Jack Mathis. Batting third, Anthony Sensetti, the third baseman. Batting fourth, the first baseman Hunter Lowell. Batting fifth, the center fielder Kyle Skutak. Batting sixth, the right fielder Vinny Bonomo. Batting seventh, the designated hitter Aiden Mihal. Batting eighth, the catcher Cameron Moser, and batting ninth, the left fielder Casey Noon. Again, that is Cawley, Mathis, Sensetti, Lowell, Skutak, Bonomo, Mihal, Moser, and Noon.
Defensively for Falls, it will be Mateo Artiega on the hill. Behind the plate, L.J. Nelson. Nate Gibson will be at first base. Aiden Kenny at second. Alex Matlack will be the third baseman. Wyatt Spinks, the shortstop. James Baker in left. John Bigley in center. Eric David will be the right fielder.
And looking at Greater Pittston yesterday, like I mentioned, lost 4-0 to Quakertown, and really it was just a tough time for them to get anything in play because of the great pitching by Vinny Pellegrini of Quakertown. Was perfect through the first 3 innings of the game, ultimately completed the game with 105 pitches. But I think Greater Pittston, a team that they have been in this position before. They've won back-to-back Region 5 championships, won last year, won this year. So they definitely know what it takes to keep their season going when their backs are against the wall. And for Falls, they easily want to get back into some sort of groove after going a combined 3 for 18 from the plate against Charleroi.
Yeah, and, sometimes you just have to credit the opposition pitcher as well, Jack, in those situations. But that is all flushed away. Today, moments away from first pitch, these two teams of young competitors will attempt to move on in the Pennsylvania State Tournament.
And we also want to remind you at home that all of our broadcasts from yesterday's action from Game 1 are all archived on our website, westmorelandsports.com. You can go back, watch those at your leisure whenever you would like. All of the broadcasts today will also be archived on our website. So all of the action for you at home, whether it's live or later, you'll get to see it. And we'll get to see a really good one. And not to mention, Roger, you brought up a good point about the really good play we saw yesterday. Obviously, we'll get really good play from all of these teams with it being the state tournament. But I think that we're going to be really in for a treat today because like I mentioned, these teams could theoretically be going home today. They could be getting in a car and driving back to their respective hometowns today. So everything that's on the line, it increases, the pressure increases, and especially for these teams that have lost already in day one and have to bounce back in day two.
Yeah, just the short turnaround time. This entire tournament will take 1 week, and then it will be over. Want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Westmoreland Sports Network for today's baseball game. Right now we're getting a mix of weather forecast, Jack. So right now, for the time being, I believe we'll have just one camera angle for this game. Pending weather updates, we may go to 2 or 3 cameras, much like we did yesterday. But be that as it may, right now, we're going to lead off the game for Pittston, Jeremy Colley, the shortstop.
Mateo Arteaga on the mound for Falls.
Colley graduated in 2023, a few months ago, from Pittston Area High School.
First pitch comes in, called strike at 11:21. Again, we were supposed to be underway at 10:15 this morning, but because of the weather that rolled in late last night, early this morning, the field was not quite in condition for it, but obviously that has changed.
And right now, Jack, the ground crews, I spoke with them, in particular, Mark Henderson, along with Mr. Grandgeorge. They're hoping for Mother Nature, sunshine and the wind to also work in their favor today as well as the field dries out.
Kenny, the flip to first, in time. Just by a half step, Colley can't beat out the flip. And the leadoff batter retired early in the top of the first.
Playing second, number 8, Jack Mathis.
Jack Mathis steps to the plate. Taking a look at Mateo Arteaga's numbers coming into the state tournament, has pitched in 26 innings with a 3-1 record. Also has a 1.05 ERA, 25 Ks to 13 walks. So it does a good job keeping runners off the base path for the most part.
Jack Mathis, 2023 graduate of Wyoming Area High School.
He's committed to East Stroudsburg for baseball. Going to be playing in the PSAC. Hits that one hard out to right center, and it finds the gap. Mathis with a big burst of speed, motors to second, and he's got a one-out double in the top of the first.
Well-struck baseball to right center field gap off the bat of Jack Mathis. Great way for Pittston's number 2 hitter to maybe get his team on the board.
Number 7.
And especially with how things went for Pittston yesterday, that is exactly the bounce back that they would want. Just like Falls yesterday against Charleroi, Greater Pittston against Quakertown only had 3 total hits in their lineup. Anthony Cincetti, the new batter.
He a graduate of Pittston Area High School.
Good block by Nelson to make sure Mathis stays put at second. And we mentioned that a lot yesterday, Roger, the importance of catchers staying strong behind the plate, especially with runners on.
Yeah, you cannot underestimate the value of a good catcher and a good first baseman, Jack. Just 2 vital positions on the field where you do need a good glove.
Called strike. Mathis yesterday was 0 for 3 from the plate, came into the tournament batting .311.
Well, right now, Arteaga is hammering the strike zone.
1-1. Turns into a 1-2. Arteaga looking for that second out. Now for Greater Pittston, they have a chance to strike early with a runner in scoring position in the form of Mathis. Hard chopper. Kenny gets the out at first. Mathis moves into an even better scoring position at third with 2 outs in the top of the first.
Yeah, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter,
Now batting,
Hunter Lowell. He out of Wyoming
number
area.
20, first baseman Hunter Lowell.
Lowell yesterday got the start on the mound against Quakertown. Ultimately picked up the loss after throwing 110 pitches. Went the distance, so he will not be pitching today, obviously.
Mathis 90 feet away.
Represents the first run of the game.
That one just missed, Jack. A little bit high and outside.
From what we've seen so far, that seems to be maybe a good spot for these pitchers to try and pinpoint that outer part of the zone. Seems to be a wider zone today. 1-0.
Not missing by much yet again was Arteaga.
Lowell coming into the tournament, batting .353 with team's second best, 20 RBIs. Could get his 21st with Mathis at third. Called strike.
Yeah, good curveball right there from Arteaga.
2 outs in the top of the first. Greater Pittston trying to strike early here in this elimination showdown. 2-1. That's hit hard out to left, and it gets through. Baker tried diving. Mathis trots home, and it's a 2-out double for Hunter Lowell as his RBI puts Greater Pittston on the board first, 1-0.
Yeah. Well struck yet again off the bats of Greater Pittston.
Number 1, Kyle Skutak.
Kyle Skutak steps in to try and keep things rolling here offensively in the top of the first for Greater Pittston.
James Baker in left field tempted to make a great play. Unsuccessful. Look out.
And now it looks that a little rundown gets Lowell caught for the third out. So Hunter Lowell got caught leaning towards third and ultimately tagged out, but an early run comes across for Greater Pittston as they carry that 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first. And we'll take this time to run through the batting lineup for Falls and the defensive alignment for Greater Pittston. For Falls, leading off the shortstop Wyatt Spinks, batting second the catcher LJ Nelson, batting third the left fielder James Baker, batting fourth the right fielder Eric David, batting fifth the designated hitter Ryan Cavanaugh, batting sixth the first baseman Nate Gilson, batting seventh the third baseman Alex Matlack, batting eighth the second baseman Aiden Kenny, batting ninth the center fielder John Bagley. Again, that is Spinks, David, Cavanaugh, Gilson, Matlack, Kenny, and Bagley.
Defensively for Greater Pittston area. On the mound, Nick Cherisaro. Behind the plate, Cameron Mosier. Hunter Lowell will be at first base. Jack Mathis at second. Anthony Cincetti is the third baseman. Jeremy Colley is the shortstop. Casey Noon gets the start in left field. Kyle Skutak in center. Vinny Bonomo will be the right fielder.
So a very good start for Greater Pittston as they jump on the board first, 1-0. Taking a look at Wyatt Spinks' numbers coming into this state tournament. Batted .333 during the regular season and the regional tournament. 19 for 42 from the plate combined. But you see this Falls lineup, Roger, and they have a lot of very good hitters, a lot of depth batting-wise, led by Eric David with a team-high .417 average. A lot of players that are batting north of 300, so I think that we can both agree that Nick Cherisaro on the mound for Greater Pittston will have his hands full this morning.
Yeah, certainly will, particularly with the first batter, Wyatt Spinks. Goes by the nickname Mighty Mouse. We'll send out a shout to his mom, Debbie, and his dad, Dave.
It appears that Hunter Lowell has not come out to first yet. Not quite sure what the delay
Well,
is.
you know what? He was the runner picked off or caught stealing at third base. I hope he is not injured in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it looks that.
Do we have any athletic trainers here? Anybody with Band-Aids, anything here?
They have Band-Aids up in the concession stand.
So Lowell was injured on the tag, and
We have a momentary delay. It appears that Lowell has indeed injured himself to some degree. The concession stand does indeed have a first aid kit.
Yeah, Coach Steve Homza in his second season as the manager for Greater Pittston, coming out to try and get this sorted out. And it looks that Hunter Lowell comes out of the dugout, so he seems to be all right, but obviously was not out there for infield warm-ups.
Looks like his pinky, maybe he ripped a nail off.
All right, here we go.
Nonetheless, back to action as Wyatt Spinks leads things off for Falls.
Wyatt Spinks.
Spinks yesterday was 1 for 3. Was one of just 3 that had a hit yesterday. Again, Falls was a combined 3 of 18 from the plate against Charleroi. Cherisaro wasting no time. Count goes 2 balls, 1 strike in favor of Spinks, but great pace by Nick Cherisaro on the mound so far.
Just a bit low.
3 balls, 1 strike. Cherisaro in jeopardy of walking the leadoff batter. Payoff pitch. Hit hard on the ground and into left. Leadoff single for Spinks as he reaches first with ease.
Solid single to left.
The catcher, number 1, L.J. Nelson.
L.J. Nelson steps in.
L.J. Nelson's going to attend Millersville University. Say hello to his mom, Jim, parents, Jim and Michelle.
Squares, Sensetti, and gets him out at first, but Spinks moves to second, so the sac bunt does its job and puts a runner in scoring position early for Falls with 1 out in the bottom of the first.
Indeed it does. Very, very bang play at first base. Great bunt there by L.J. Nelson.
Great job by Anthony Sensetti to charge that bunt from third base.
James Baker to the plate. Teammates call him shake it and bake.
Very creative, I like that.
Yeah.
0-1. Out to center. Scoot tack. Back to the track. And makes the reaching grab. Spinks tags up. Heads to third with ease. But it puts the second out on the board as the long second out credited to James Baker.
Yeah, well done. Putting the ball in play. Now
Batting fourth,
tying run just 90 feet away.
Number 22,
Eric David steps in. Team leader in average with a .417 clip. However, only 24 at-bats coming into the tournament.
David will be a 2024 graduate of Pennsbury High School. Parents are Eric and Sabrina.
Has a chance to drive in the first run of the game for Falls with Spinks standing at third with just 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Gets jammed up and an easy catch for Cawley. So a runner stranded at third and Spinks. Falls can't bring him home, and Greater Pittston hangs on to their 1-0 lead as we go to the second right here at Rosa-Oglietti Park and on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Folks, if you're getting hungry, we have pepperoni rolls up in the concession stand. These things are about 1 foot long and they are filled with pepperoni. So if you're hungry, you might need to share one, but they're very good. You little thing. Oh, my goodness. We rented a house. a couple years ago. And my wife got the phone and ordered 20. Oh, wow. Because we were going to be there for a full week, plus we took all our kids. Right. At the end of the week, none left. Zero.
I saw one of these players, I didn't know Steve, he was eating one of those pepperoni rolls before the game.
I had kids on my team until the game.
I eat one of them, I looked at it, it looks really good.
Oh, they're very good. They're homemade from a place way off the 30s called Sarasella. Extremely good.
But if I ate one of those, I'd have to take a nap.
That's it.
Here we go.
That's it.
You've done for sure.
Yes, sir. Leading off the top half of the second inning for Pittston, number 1, center
Move to the
fielder,
second,
Kyle
1-0. Greater
Skutak.
Pittston leads. Roger Downs, Jack Ridenauer here with you. Kyle Skutak gets things started for Greater Pittston.
If you recall, Kyle was at the plate, when Hunter Lowall was caught in that rundown and ultimately picked off to end inning number 1.
And that is definitely an aspect of this game in particular with it, an elimination game. Those outs kind of give me outs you cannot have mount up against you. Hits it hard, and a diving catch made by Aiden Kenny. He said, "Not so fast, Mr. Skutak. You're not going to get a single on me." And the leadoff batter retired for the first out.
Real nice defensive play
Playing
there.
right field, number 18.
And that was a hard hit ball by Kyle Skutak. When Vinny Bonomo steps in, but there's been some pretty hard hit balls off the bats of these Greater Pittston hitters early.
Bonomo graduated recently from Pittston area high school. Will attend the University of Scranton.
As he's looking to play baseball there at Scranton. 0-1. Line foul. If I'm not mistaken, Scranton University has a very good basketball program at the NCAA Division III level.
I believe you are correct, sir.
0-2. Misses.
Just missed. Great plate discipline from Vinny Bonomo.
Came into the tournament batting .238 on the Legion season. Gets jammed up. Count evens at 2-2. Arteaga looking for that second out, trying to have a clean 1-2-3 inning after allowing a run in the top of the first.
Fortunate in that first inning, Jack, that Pittston could only muster one run.
2-2. To right, David makes the catch. Sends Aiden Mihal to the plate to try and avoid the 1-2-3 inning. But to your point, Roger, yes, I think that Falls could definitely, after that first inning, maybe breathe a sigh of relief that it was only just one run, because let's face it, all the outs that were recorded and all of the batters, they put really good balls in play.
They did.
So they're seeing something really good that they like from Mateo Arteaga.
Mihal attends King's College. Two outs in the inning. We thank you for being with us this morning, live from Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Misses. Roger, have you ever been to King's College?
I have not.
I believe it's in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, or thereabout. Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah, sure.
I believe Wilkes University is actually right across the street from King's College.
Wow.
They have a very big king crown that has a sign that says King's College.
Awesome.
2-0. Catches the outer black. 2 outs in the top of the second. Greater Pittston in front 1-0 in this elimination showdown in day 2 of the state tournament. 2-1. A good fight by Mihal to just try and get something to get fouled off to keep the at-bat going. A good 2-strike approach.
trying to get something in play, help the team out. Arteaga is pitching on his terms right now.
Still looking for that third and final out. Full count.
Patient at bat from Aiden Mihal.
A very patient at bat, especially with 2 outs. Just trying to extend this inning. 3-2. Ball 4. The patience helps out Mihal as he earns a 2-out walk and sends Cameron Moser to the plate.
Batting 8, the catcher, number 21, Cameron Moser.
Cameron Moser is a graduate of Wyoming Area High School. Will be attending East Stroudsburg. Wow, what a great take on that offering, Jack.
Did a good job not getting fooled by Arteaga. Moser, one of the many on this Greater Pittston roster to head off to East Stroudsburg to continue their career. Fouled back. Seems that Wilkes University as well as East Stroudsburg are the most popular colleges on the Greater Pittston roster, as well as King's College.
Well, that makes sense, Jack. You're located in the eastern part of the state. A lot of times you want to stay away from home, yet close to home.
Count goes 2 balls, 1 strike in favor of Moser. Pittston's about 3 hours and 48 minutes from Latrobe. It's north of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Runner at first in the form of Mihal. 2 outs in the top of the second.
Time is called by the batter.
Block him out! Block him out! Block him out! Home now, home now.
Count evens. Very different pitching strategies as well, with Arteaga going a little bit slower. Cherisaro for Greater Pittston, a little bit of a faster pitcher. 2-2. Cold third strike. Mateo Arteaga getting the much-needed third and final out to strand Mihal at first as Greater Pittston hangs on to a 1-0 lead, and we'll see if Falls can even things up or even take a lead as we move to the bottom of the second right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
You're 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Well-oiled machine.
Folks, don't forget to get your emails in. We heard from a lot of viewers yesterday. If you'd like to do that, you can click on the envelope, upper right-hand corner of the screen. Tell us where you're watching from. You want to wish good luck to either Greater Pittston or Falls, a specific player. Again, the Roger Downs fan club is out there, I'm sure. So whatever you'd like to do in your email, you can do it. Just click on that little envelope there and give us a shout.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dan Flickinger, our producer extraordinaire and man that does it all around here at Westmoreland Sports Network. What a long day he had yesterday, Roger. What a long week he will have, but we all know how much he loves what he does and how incredible he is at what he does.
Leading off for Falls,
really
designated hitter number 8.
He really does,
Ryan
Jack.
Kavanaugh.
Ryan Kavanaugh leads things off for Falls.
And, Jack, we can't turn the air conditioner on back here because we tripped the breaker 3 times yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's what
including
happens.
at the end of the Latrobe Jethawks game, where we didn't get the interviews. I shouldn't say just Latrobe, but Latrobe and Wesleyville. And we didn't get the interviews on the air, but they are on our Twitter. By the way, everybody that we interviewed yesterday, all of those interviews are on our Twitter, at Westmoreland SN.
Ryan Kavanaugh to the plate, 2023 graduate of Harry S. Truman High School, will be going to Charleston Southern University and play baseball.
Count evens on Kavanaugh, 2 balls, 2 strikes. As he tries to replicate the bottom of the first with the leadoff batter getting aboard. Stays alive.
Nate Gilson is on deck. I believe I misidentified him in the opening as Gibson. Sometimes I can't read my own printing or handwriting.
I'm right there with you, my friend. That happens, I think, more often than people would like to admit.
So my apologies to Tammy and Steve.
Bounced, foul. Kavanaugh coming into the tournament, batting .308 with 9 RBIs. 52 at-bats on the season. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Kavanaugh for the leadoff out, and Nick Cherisaro continues to stay into a nice groove.
Yeah, he certainly has. Nice pitch there. Curveball on the outside part of the plate. Coming up empty was Kavanaugh.
Batting 6.
Nate
the first
Gilson
baseman,
steps to the
number
plate.
20.
Nate Gilson's
Nate
only 16 years of
Gilson.
age. He too attends Harry S. Truman High School. And ladies, if you're out there, if you're interested in Nate Gilson, we asked him to say something about himself. He says he enjoys long walks on the beach.
That's a nice hobby.
Yeah.
Get some good exercise. Gilson, a .302 batter coming into the States. 13 for 43 on the season from the plate. Works a 3-0 count in his favor.
Jack, do you know the nickname of this Falls baseball team?
From what I could see on their jersey, I believe it's the Dirtbags.
Indeed it is. I kind of like it.
I like that. I was actually at a Sheetz just around the corner before I came to the ballpark, and the entire team was getting some breakfast.
There you go.
Gilson earns a 1-out walk to put a runner at first for Falls.
Batting 7th, playing third base. Number 9.
Alex Matlack comes to the plate.
Matlack, recently graduated from Harry S. Truman High School, will attend Chestnut Hill College.
.250 batter on the season is Matlack. Good block by Moser. Make sure Gilson stays put at first. (1-1). Another good job by Moser to smother the ball.
Yeah, did a nice job of keeping the ball right in front of him. Able to locate it quickly, sheds the mask, keeping the runner at first base.
Catching is definitely the hardest position, I would say, in all of baseball, really. 2-1. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matlack. Cherisaro searching for that second out in the bottom of the second. Gets away from Moser. Gilson heads to second and stands there safely. So as they say, third time's the charm, and that third ball in the dirt is what gets Gilson into scoring position. Second straight inning that Falls has had a runner in scoring position. Matlack stays alive. Three balls, 2 strikes on the third baseman. Payoff pitch. A great fight by the third baseman to just fight anything off that's close.
Yeah, just off his hands into foul territory. lives to see another pitch.
Matlack with just 12 at-bats during the Legion season coming into the tournament, so a small sample size. We'll see if he can come in the clutch here.
Well, he is putting up a very, very good battle right now.
And that's that two-strike approach. Anything close, choke up on the bat, and just get a piece of it to keep the at-bat going. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Good job by Moser again to smother that. Gilson was almost halfway down to third, but puts 2 runners on with just 1 out, and Aiden Kenny to the plate.
Aiden Kenny out of Pittsbury High School. We'll send a shout out to
number
Bears,
17,
Cheryl and Brian.
Aiden Kenny.
Big swing and miss by Kenny. Hunter Lowell, the first baseman, on the infield grass. Gilson at second, Matlack at first. Falls trying to even this 1-0 score up. 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Kenny.
Artiega faced 4 batters in the first inning. This is his 4th batter now in inning number 2. Bagley on deck.
3-1. Ball 4. Bases are loaded after 3 consecutive walks by Cherisaro. And the tying run stands just 90 feet away for Falls.
Time is called by the catcher. We have a coach coming out to the mound. Take this opportunity again to thank everyone for tuning in to the Westmoreland Sports Network. We will be here all week, and as Jack mentioned earlier, all of our games are archived shortly after their conclusion. And as our producer Dan has invited you all to click on the little envelope in the upper right-hand corner of the screen.
We do have a few emails, Roger.
And let us know what you think. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, you're welcome. I want to say hi to Lynn Chintala. Let's go Greater Pittston and Coach Steve. Let's get some support emails coming. This one coming from Sarasota, Florida, 102 degrees heat. And she says, talk about tripping AC breakers. Yeah, I bet.
Bagley.
John Bagley. Takes strike 1.
John out of Pennsbury High School. Say hello to his parents, John and Rachel. Also, Nate, Luke, and Sam.
Tom in the book.
Bagley batting .343 through the regular season and regionals. Fouls it off for strike 2.
We've seen some very, very high batting averages throughout all of up and down all these rosters, Jack.
Yes, lots have been north of 350 at times, some even north of 400. Just shows the talent that there is in Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball. Cherisaro looking for this second out.
Alex Lucon has arrived with one of her helpers.
Yes, always getting great service here at Rosa-Oglietti Park, host site of the 2023 State Legion Tournament.
And her little helper Evan is with her today. We thank you both for hydrating the press box.
Always important to stay hydrated.
Especially on these hot days. We got some action in the Greater Pittston bullpen right now, Jack.
Yes, number 6, Sean Petrosky is getting warmed up. Player that actually took a year off from baseball and is just now making his return to the sport. 1-2. Popped up. Cherisaro takes care of it. And a much needed second out there for Greater Pittston. And not to mention an out that the ball does not really get put into play to force anyone to advance.
Well, the batter in that case was out immediately because the ball was fair. And it was an infield fly rule with the out. Now 2 outs inning to the top of the order to Spinks.
Bases loaded for Falls as they look to try and even the score, if not take the lead.
Wyatt wanted us to say hello to Carson, Jared, and Brady. 3 brothers.
1-1. Just misses low. Cherasaro trying to strand the bases loaded and avoid walking home a run. Mathis. And it gets there in time. 3rd and final out recorded as Nick Cherasaro bears down and gets the 3rd and final out to leave the bases loaded. We move to the bottom of the top of the 3rd to see if Greater Pittston can increase their 1-0 lead right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
I want to get to a few emails. I want to say hello to Barb, sending from Williamsport, home of Little League, of course, Little League World Series. Go Pittston. Roger, did you ever slide down the hill on one of the cardboard boxes?
No, I never did that,
Okay.
Dan.
Me neither. I have been there one time.
I've been to the Little League World Series Museum, actually.
Oh.
It's very interesting.
Was there cardboard boxes on display?
No, unfortunately not. I wanted to see if there was an exhibit that I could go sliding down, but there wasn't.
Brianna Kavanaugh, I'm sending this hoping the Dirtbags win, and I hope my brother Ryan does great. That is from Brianna Kavanaugh. Alyssa Kavanaugh, I hope the Dirtbags win. I hope my brother Ryan gets a good hit and gets on base. There you go. Thank you.
Well, it takes a family to raise an athlete.
Kelly Smith says, let's go Greater Pittston. She actually said, let's go GP. And Coach Dave says, hey guys, great job on the commentary today and yesterday. Enjoying your work very much. The term dirtbag represents an attitude, mindset, and a deep desire to do anything possible to help the team win. And that is actually courtesy of Google search.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh,
Like it.
The power of Google.
I like that. Casey Noon leads things off for Greater Pittston. Slim 1-0 lead that they carry with them into this 3rd inning.
Leading off for Pittston, left fielder number 17, Casey Noon.
And an easy first out for Nate Gilson to take care of. And Roger, we mentioned all the time those efficient outs where not much needs to be done. That is what you want for the defense.
Now
Yeah,
batting,
indeed, Jack.
number 5.
A lot of times you'd like to call that a
Jeremy
routine play,
Cawley.
but a lot of times there's no such thing as a routine play.
Jeremy Cawley comes to the plate. Back to the top of the lineup for Greater Pittston. That's the part of the lineup that gave Mateo Arteaga so much problems back in the 1st inning. Cawley 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to Aiden Kenny over at second back in the 1st inning. Quick 2-0 count work by Cawley. Came into the tournament leading the team in at-bats with 60. Also was batting .367 coming into the tournament. Bloomsburg baseball commit as well. To shallow left. Spinks takes care of it. 2 up, 2 down for Mateo Arteaga as Jack Mathis steps to the plate to try and avoid the 1-2-3.
Next up, number 8, Jack Mathis.
Mathis doubled back in the 1st inning. Came around to score the lone run as well.
Yeah, it was struck very well to the right center field gap.
Mathis hails from Wyoming Area High School. 1-0. Just misses outside. It's been a spot that Arteaga has tried to live on throughout this early ball game, but it's been hit or miss on whether he gets the calls.
Well, it's also that, and it's a credit to the hitters as well, staying disciplined, recognizing that ball is just off the plate.
Hey now. Go, Jack.
2-0. Going back to the second inning, Arteaga has now retired 3 consecutive batters, looking to make Mathis the 4th.
Francisco Lindor is Jack's favorite player.
Three balls, 1 strike on the second baseman.
Anthony Cincetti on deck.
Arteaga desperately trying to get out of this inning, searching for that 3rd and final out. Three-one. Ball 4. Mathis shows the patience and earns first base with the 2-out walk and sends Anthony Cincetti to the plate.
Now batting number 7, Anthony Cincetti.
Cincetti's a fan of David Ortiz, former Red Sox slugger. I'm sure he'd love to slug one right now.
I'm sure he would love to do anything to keep this inning going with 2 down in the top of the 3rd. Hard ball that gets hit right up the middle. Mathis stops at second, and a 2-out single for Cincetti puts 2 on for Hunter Lowell, who has the lone RBI of the early game here in day 2 of the state tournament for Greater Pittston.
Big Poppy would definitely love that at bat. Time called by Lowell.
Lowell eventually was picked off to end the first inning in a 2nd to 3rd rundown.
Hunter enjoys golf and poker. Good stop. Time is called, Jack.
Yes, as headman for Falls and Shane Ostrowski, I beg your pardon, Pete Hoffman in his 20th year comes out.
Folks,
Trying to settle down
we have
Arteaga,
Dairy
who
Queen treats
really, Roger,
in
despite
the
some base
concession
runners
stand,
getting on
Buster
against him, he
bars,
has been
chili
very solid
bars,
for the most part.
Yes, yes
darkness
indeed.
bars,
Again,
and
Jack,
ice cream sandwiches.
score is only
So
1
it's
to
starting
nothing.
to get a little warm out there. Stop
And
up
it's
and get a
going to be a
Dairy
good
Queen
game.
treat.
Mother Nature certainly doing her part in getting this field even in more pristine condition, if that is indeed possible.
Yes, again, another big shout out to the crew here at Rosa-Oglietti Park to get it ready for day 2 of our state tournament.
Stay high up there, kid. Stay high up there, kid.
One 1-0. Nelson really working behind the plate. And again, he is going to be vital that he does not let much past him as Mathis stands in his scoring position.
Arteaga held on to that one just a little bit too long. You could see he released it late. It stayed outside from the mound, 60 feet 6 inches, till it was caught by his catcher.
2-0. Quick 3-0 count worked by Lowell. So now Arteaga in jeopardy of walking the bases loaded. Kyle Skutak in the on-deck circle. Still 2 outs as Arteaga trying to get out of this inning with little damage, if not 0 damage, being done. 3-0. Ball 4, and everybody moves up 90 feet. So after Arteaga sat down noon as the leadoff batter and Cauley, it's been a walk by Mathis, a single by Cincetti, and another walk by Lowell. And now Skutak with a chance to extend this Greater Pittston lead.
Skutak, fan of chicken parm.
This is outside.
Vamos, vamos, vamos. Línea, línea. Vamos, vamos, vamos.
1-0. Just misses inside as Arteaga just cannot find the strike zone. Trying to hit his spots, but the patience by this Greater Pittston team starting to really show its colors.
Yeah, it's going to reap benefits if it continues this way because it also builds the pitch count.
2-0. Right down the pipe.
Not a bad approach there from Skutak to take a strike after walking 2 hitters and giving up a single before he coming to the plate.
Come now, one. I'm good there.
2-1. And out of play. 2 outs in the top of the third.
2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded.
Greater Pittston trying to extend their 1-0 lead. The Dirtbags trying to leave the bases loaded and get back to the plate. 2-2. Another good fight by Skutak. And although we've seen great pitching from both sides, we've also seen some just great plate approaches by both teams. And whether it's a 2-strike approach or with runners on, really the mindset for the hitting has been exceptional.
Indeed it has, Jack. Well said. Anything close, better be swinging, young man.
2-2. Easy
No man's
fly
land.
ball, and it's caught by Spinks as forced Baker from left to make a big charge into almost the infield, but nonetheless, bases left loaded as Greater Pittston still hanging on to a 1-0 lead, and we'll see if Falls can try and counteract, maybe even the score or even take a lead as we move to the bottom of the third right here in the state tournament for Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball and on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
I want to say hello to Angelica
Folks, when I was
Singer.
a kid,
Let's go Greater
nothing
Pittston, the
tasted
team,
better
Coach
than my
Steve, and the
grandmother's
rest of
homemade apple
the
pie.
GP coaching staff for doing
If you're
a great
interested,
job.
we
Keep
have
up
apple
the great,
pie
keep up the
logs
good
up
work.
in the
We'll say
concession
great work
stand,
there from
and
Angelica
they taste
Singer.
just
Thank you
as
so
good as
much,
Grandma.
Angelica.
So make sure you
Don't
stop up in
forget,
the
we want to give a
concession
big
stand,
shout out to
say hi
Elite
to
Plumbing
Tom,
Kitchens and Baths
and get 2
in
of
the
those apple
Latrobe
pie
Route 30
logs
Plaza,
today.
a presenting sponsor, the presenting sponsor of our state tournament broadcast all week long. Again, Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths in the Latrobe Route 30 Plaza. Thank you so much to those folks. If you're looking to remodel your bathroom or your kitchen, they have everything there. They can plan it, help you plan it, and help you execute it as well at Elite Plumbing Kitchens and Baths in the Latrobe Route 30 Plaza.
Greater Pittston still in front 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the third. Roger Downs, Jack Ridenauer, producer man in the control room, Dan Flickinger, and also the voice from above. That's what you and I called him yesterday, Roger.
Indeed.
Leading off,
LJ
for
Nelson gets the
Falls.
party started for Falls.
LJ
Number
Nelson,
1,
a fan of steak.
LJ Nelson.
Can never go wrong with a good steak.
You cannot.
One. Go, Nick.
0-2 count worked on L.J. Nelson. As Nick Cherisaro still working in a good pace despite having the bases loaded on him in the bottom of the second, but was able to wiggle out of the jam.
You know what, Jack? Both pitchers have done well wading through a bit of raindrops and trouble with the bases loaded in the past couple of innings, and they've done a nice job.
And on top of that, we cannot, I feel, ignore this because neither team in this early game were able to have infield-outfield practice because of the field condition.
That is correct. Good point.
Good eye by Nelson.
Yeah, that one just missed.
And really the fielding has been exceptional as well by both teams, despite having no infield-outfield. Count evens on Nelson as Cherisaro in jeopardy of losing the at-bat and walking the leadoff batter. Big swing and miss. Down goes Nelson for the leadoff out, and Cherisaro carrying some of that momentum with him from the second inning to the third.
Now batting, number 11, James Baker.
James Baker steps to the plate, 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to center back in the first.
Baker enjoys filet mignon.
Now that's a very good steak.
We'll also send a shout out to his grandfather, Poppy.
Baker's second on this Falls team in RBIs with 19. Hits that a mile high. Cauley puts it away for the second out. So after walking the bases loaded in the bottom of the second for Nick Cherisaro, he's retired 4 consecutive batters and looking to make Eric David the 5th.
Yes. Eric David to the plate, enjoys chicken and rice. That's a healthy meal.
Very healthy.
Depending on how your chicken's prepared.
I have to say, Roger, all this food talk and then the kettle corn that we are hearing about, and the apple pies, I'm hungry now. Smacked out to center, Skutak to the track. Oh, and he makes the catch right at the fence. Kyle Skutak tracking that as far as he could and pulls it down for the long third and final out. The 1-2-3 inning for Nick Cherisaro carries us to the 4th inning. Greater Pittston in front 1-0 right here on WSN.
Folks, if you like that mixture of sweet and salty, make sure you stop up and see Simply the Best Kettle Corn. They're located in the parking lot, and they do have some of the best kettle corn I've ever had. So make sure you stop up and get some today.
It looks like it's at the stew. Bonomo, mijo, Moser!
More minutes.
Two!
We've played 3 and we move to the 4th inning. Greater Pittston in front 1-0 as Falls is still looking, Roger, for their first run of the entire state tournament.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they really have played a very, very good brand of baseball. Vinny Bonomo, the right fielder, is going to lead off for Greater Pittston.
Bonomo 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to right.
He enjoys grilled cheese.
Watch out.
Kenny Moore. Go with them, Spinks.
Why you went ding dong?
1-0. Called strike. Bonomo 10 for 42 from the plate coming into the state tournament. Just misses outside.
Tell you what, Jack, if RTA gets pitching for me and he's getting the pitch that close, keep doing what you're doing. They're bound to start swinging at that one eventually.
2-1. Spinks on the run. Bullets one across the diamond. In time, awfully close, but the leadoff batter in Bonomo sat down.
Next up, number 4, Aiden.
Aiden Mihal comes to the plate. Really good throw by Wyatt Spinks. Put that one on a line.
Yeah, hard, accurate throw as well. Aiden Mihal to the plate. Pasta lover.
Misses high. Mihal yet to register an official at bat on a 3-ball, 2-strike count back in the second inning for a walk. Hits that hard to right, and it's foul. Just foul by maybe 4 inches. That could have been easily one, if not a 2-bagger off the bat of Mihal.
As we mentioned, the ground crew has done an exceptional job with all the rain last night and this morning. Foul lines even are in good shape, Jack.
Yes, nice and visible down both left and both left and right field. 2 balls, 1 strike on Mihal. Arteaga trying to put together a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 4th. Count evens.
Come on, Matty.
2-2. Full count work by Mihal. Worked a full count back in the second. Won it for a 2-out walk.
A lot of full counts, Jack. We're going to have to get a number on Arteaga's pitch count here in a little bit.
It's something that we will pay very close attention to. That last pitch was his 60th. Payoff pitch. Called, third strike. On the 61st pitch of Arteaga's outing, he strikes out Mihal for the second out of the top of the 4th.
Now batting number 21, Cameron Moser.
Cameron Moser steps in, trying to extend this inning. Was a strikeout victim in the second, looking to eliminate that past and get aboard here in the top of the 4th.
And finally, Cameron Moser steps to the plate. He's a fan of pizza, Jack.
An easy one to go for. Hard grounder that gets past Matlack in the left.
That's just a tough play. That's a base hit all the way.
A 2-out single for Moser keeps this inning rocking and rolling for Greater Pittston and sends Casey Noon to the plate.
Number 17, Casey Noon.
And if people are wondering why Jack and I have not commented on Casey Noon, some of his biographical information, no one seems to be able to locate a bio sheet from Casey Noon. I wonder if he filled one out. So if anybody out there would like to email Dan, our producer, with some information on Casey Noon, we would greatly appreciate it and pass it on to all others that are tuning into this baseball game.
Moser back safely. Yeah, any sort of fun facts on Mr. Noon? we will gladly share with you at home.
Yeah.
0-1.
Good pitch.
Noon in an 0-2 hole as Arteaga trying to get out of this inning and keep Moser stranded at first. He's done a great job at getting out of jams and keeping runners stranded. Looking to do it here again in the top of the fourth. 0-2. Good take by Noon.
Nice approach from Noon as well. We see a lot of well-disciplined hitters, Jack, choking up just a bit on the bat once they get 2 strikes.
Another quick move. Moser safe. Arteaga very distracted with Moser at first. And really, Roger, I think in this situation, when he's ahead in the count on Noon, just focus on the at-bat at hand.
I would agree with you.
Heading foul and...
Watch out, fans.
Into the stands. Everybody staying away from the sun.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's trying to find some shade right now.
I don't blame them.
As Mother Nature is starting to heat things up just a bit.
1-2. And it's stopped by Spinks, but he can't make the play in time. And off goes Moser. He heads to third. So puts runners at the corners with 2 outs as Spinks was able to stop it.
He was lucky to get to it, Jack.
But he could not make the play to first. And he comes up a little hobbled, so hopefully he's all right. But nonetheless, great ranging ability by him, but just could not complete the play.
Now batting number 5.
To me, I thought it was a base hit and then advanced to third on the throwing.
So an infield single with an error charged to Wyatt Spinks over at short.
Yeah, permitting Moser to get to third base. Now the top of the order.
Jeremy Cawley.
Quick.
Moser at third, Noon at first.
Andrew McCutcheon, favorite of Jeremy Cawley.
Cawley trying to drive in the second run of the game for Greater Pittston.
Okay, no balls, 2 strikes. Wouldn't be a bit surprised on this offering if Casey Noon took off for second base. A little hit and run.
Arteaga still looking for that third and final out. 0-2, Noon takes off, shot to left, and it drops in. Moser comes in to score, Noon stops at third, and it puts Cawley over at first with a bloop single that makes it 2-0 Greater Pittston.
Next up, number 8, Jack Mathis.
Jack Mathis trying to keep this ball rolling, if you will, for this Greater Pittston team as they tack on another run to give themselves a little bit of cushion against Falls.
Mathis, a fan of the Rocky series movies. Accurate throw to first base. Arteaga slipped a little bit on the mound as he released that one.
Off goes Cawley. Throw down to second's cut off by Spinks. So they concede the stolen base, and it puts runners at second and third with 2 outs. Mathis trying to drive in 1, if not 2 runs here to really balloon this lead for Greater Pittston. 0-1. Smacked right into the glove of Aiden Kenny. Snags it out of the air for the third and final out to strand 2 more runners, but A run does come across as Greater Pittston extends their lead to 2-0 as we move into the bottom of the fourth, right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
I think it's 15 on that. It was an 11% inning after it's 36.
Greater Pittston adds to their lead to make it 2-0 as we move into the bottom of the fourth.
Leading off
Roger
from the
Downs,
bottom half
Jack
of the
Ridenauer
fourth
here
inning
with
for
you
Falls.
as Ryan
Number
Cavanaugh
8,
leads things off for
Ryan
Falls. 5, 6, 7
Cavanaugh.
due up in the lineup for this Dirtbags team.
Yeah, Cav, as he goes by, called by his friends, has Jacob deGrom as his favorite athlete. And we heard from the Cavanaugh family earlier on the emails. Thank you, Mr. Flickinger.
Second time today that Cavanaugh has led the inning off. It's a strikeout victim back in the second.
We have action in both bullpens right now, Jack. Looks like they're both number 6 warming up.
And for Falls, it's Wyatt Spinks that's getting warmed up. Still Petrosky for Greater Pittston. Good fight by Cavanaugh to foul off the curveball.
Yeah, he tracked that pitch very, very well, getting a piece of it.
Cavanaugh led the second inning off after he was struck out. Cherisaro went on to walk the bases loaded. He was able to escape the bases loaded jam with getting a pop-up by Bagley and then a ground out for Spinks, but still was a threatening job by Falls. 2-2. Full count on Cavanaugh as he looks to try and win this battle and be just the second player today to reach a board as the leadoff batter for Falls.
Really good at bat to this point by Cavanaugh.
Payoff pitch, ball 4. Leadoff walk, won by Ryan Cavanaugh. And it sends Nate Gilson to the plate. And just the second time today that Falls has got the leadoff batter aboard.
20, Nate Gilson.
Well, to this point, Falls has left 4 runners left on base. Gilson, the lefty now.
Falls still looking for their first run of the entire tournament. They were blanked yesterday in a 10-0 loss to Charleroi in a 5-inning decision. Greater Pittston fell 4-0 against Quakertown yesterday. 0-1, Cavanaugh takes off. Moser's throw is in time, but it was Cavanaugh that beat the throw. Just a really good jump by him. Actually came in with so much force, he knocked the bag out of its place. Nonetheless, it puts a runner in scoring position for Falls with no outs.
Good job all around by the Falls team right now. Gilson enjoys cheeseburgers.
That was a really good throw by Moser. If it had been a little bit more towards the right, might have been a pretty bang-bang play, but a good jump by Cavanaugh. Big swing and miss by Gilson to even the count.
And we saw a very good example of the safety bags that are used here at the Rosa-Oglietti Park as it came off its moorings years ago. That would have been a solid bag, could have injured an ankle.
Called third strike as it sits down Gilson for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 9.
Alex Matlack steps to the plate to try and keep things rolling after the leadoff walk by Kavanaugh and then the stolen base to put him in scoring position.
Matlack enjoys a good bowl of mac and cheese.
Oh, 1. Ooh. Bounces around and off goes Kavanaugh as Moser unable to locate it. And so the first run of not only the game but the entire tournament for Falls just stands 90 feet away.
Yeah, I always had worked with my pitchers, Jack, that when the catcher's having a hard time locating the ball, we would even practice hearing the voice of the pitcher amongst the crowd of others, helping him point out as to where the baseball was. But nonetheless, that ball was going to move Kavanaugh up no matter what happened.
Matlack drew a walk in his previous plate appearance today in the second inning, was stranded at second to end the inning. 2-1. Gerisaro trying to buckle down and get this second out. Keep Kavanaugh waiting at third. 2-2. And it hits him. Hit by pitch for Matlack. He wears it on the arm. And he trots down to first to put runners at the corners with 1 out.
Next up, number 17, Aiden Kenny.
Aiden Kenny comes to the plate as Steve Homza comes out to the mound to maybe make a change. We'll see what happens here, but could very well be just a mound visit to try and settle him down.
Nope.
And looks like that is all she wrote
Call to the bullpen
for Nick Gerisaro. So his outing ends with 76 pitches in the call to the bullpen for Sean Petrosky, King's College commit, who, mind you, is coming off of, again, a year away from baseball. So this is his first year back after being away from the sport for 12 months. And now he's tasked with trying to keep Kavanaugh stranded at third and that donut hole on the board for Falls.
Yeah, Sean Petrosky coming in. Now attends King's College, majoring in exercise science. Future plans include becoming a physical therapist. He transferred to King's from Westchester University.
For Greater Pittston, number 6, Sean.
That's another school that we are very familiar with in the PSAC, as we do extensive work, the broadcasting home, if you will, of Seton Hill Athletics, a fellow PSAC member in the west side of things, Westchester in the east side of things, but nonetheless, we do a boatload of things for PSAC Athletics that you can actually also go back on our website to view and watch at your leisure on westmorelandsports.com.
While he's warming up, don't forget those pepperoni rolls up in the concession stand. They are more than just a meal. They are very enjoyable. Make sure you stop up and get one today.
So Kavanaugh at third and Matlack at first with just 1 out. And for Petrosky, a sticky situation he comes into, especially trailing, or excuse me, up to nothing, but with Falls at least threatening at the moment. And again, there's something to be said, I think, for a team that has had their backs against the wall. They get mercy ruled in game 1 of the tournament. They have yet to score a run. This is a team that really has, obviously they have a lot to lose, but they have nothing to lose in that sense because they're just trying to get a run on and keep themselves competitive in this ball game.
Yeah, they want to crack through that big 0 that's been on the scoreboard. And right now, with Petrosky coming in, runners on first and third for the Dirtbags, an opportunity for Aiden Kenny.
Kenny drew a walk in his previous plate appearance in the second.
His favorite athlete is Henry Ruggs III. This is the number 8 hitter in the lineup.
Matlack takes off, and no throw to second. So 2 runners in scoring position for Falls. And Kenny has a chance to not only cut into this deficit, but maybe even tie the ball game.
Yeah, Kenny walked in his first plate appearance. John Bagley is on deck, number 9 hitter in the lineup.
Called strike.
Good velocity on that offering.
Falls trying to get on the board and score 1, if not 2 runs. But Petrosky in jeopardy of walking his first batter that he faces in his relief appearance. Still 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. 3-1. Shot up. Low wall. Puts it away.
Foul ball catch.
Makes the catch in foul territory for the 2nd out, and it now puts John Bagley to the plate with a chance to try and drive in some runs with 2 outs.
John Bagley.
Falls has already stranded 4 runners this afternoon, trying to avoid stranding 2 more.
Bagley, a fan of The Office.
Strike 1. I'm surprised with a lot of these players coming from that general part of where that show took place, there's not more fans of The Office. Big swing and miss. A vanishing pitch by Petrosky puts Bagley in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, that was a very, very good curveball. Bottom fell out of that one completely.
A phantom curve, as you might say. 0-2. Low wall, again in foul territory. Makes the catch. 3rd and final out completed, and now 6 runners stranded in the ball game for Falls as they strand 2 more, and that donut hole stays on the board for the Dirtbags. Greater Pittston leads 2-0 as we move into the 5th inning right here and only on WSN.
News from the NCAA with less than a month before the kickoff of football season. Jim Harbaugh will be suspended. It is still yet to be determined what suspension will be levied.
Folks, don't forget you can have a commemorative keepsake of today's broadcast by clicking on the Buy Download button. Once you fill out your information, a link will be sent to you once the live broadcast ends. It'll be emailed to you, and then you just click on that link, and you can download the broadcast. And again, a keepsake for the rest of your life you can have of the state tournament broadcast here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Sweet and salty kettle corn.
You're not a very good football player.
Yeah, and he can tell you some stories. I won't repeat them.
So yesterday,
Violation.
Michigan was named to be the winner of the Pac.
Get up, let's go.
10.
We move to the 5th with Anthony Cincetti leading things off for Greater Pittston as they carry their 2-0 lead with them into the inning. Roger Downs, Jack Ridenauer here with you with Dan Flickinger in the control room, making sure that we sound crisp and clear and the action being relayed for you all at home.
Yeah, Anthony's favorite TV show is Drake and Josh.
That's a classic. Great show.
That's a great swing, Seven.
It's been a great showing by Mateo Arteaga. He just has not been able to have any run support to carry with him into any half inning.
Well, Pittston has left 6 runners on base by my unofficial stats. That's a good job by Arteaga.
Count evens. Yes, it falls at that same point. They've stranded now 6 runners after stranding 2 back in the bottom of the 4th. So pitching and defense really starting to shine through here this state tournament. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cincetti. 1 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to second back in the 1st inning and then had a hard hit single in the 3rd. trying to lead the inning off and get a board for Greater Pittston. 3 balls, 1 strike. I have to say, LJ Nelson is doing yeoman's work behind the plate.
Yeah, catchers in this entire tournament so far, I'm sure have slept very well at night due to the heat and the numerous activities, pass balls, wild pitches, great blocks as well.
2-2. Weak blooper. Kenny puts it away for the first out.
Now batting number 20.
Arteaga's pitch count is starting to increase, now nearing 80, as that was his 77th pitch he just threw. And again, the limit is 105. We've seen a couple arms go 105. Actually, Hunter Lowell, who steps to the plate, finished with 110 yesterday.
And with that, we'll send a shout out to his dog Oreo.
Guys, we got an email from Casey Noon, or I'm sorry, from Ken Skaz. Casey Noon is a graduate of Wyoming area. He is attending Penn State to study engineering. His father played for Greater Pittston and Wilkes University, where he was the MVP of the Mid-Atlantic Conference and was drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Ah, very nice.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ken. 2-0. Quick 3-0 count worked by Lowell. Penn State has a marvelous engineering program,
They
if
do
I'm not
indeed.
mistaken.
Yep. And we thank Ken for all of that information. So, Casey Noon, there was your moment.
We'll have to bring that back when he comes to the plate.
Sure.
3-0. Right down the middle.
Still gotta be yours. You gotta want to bust. Go hard.
3-1. Lifted into shallow right, and Kenny again makes the catch for the second out. Great work by the second baseman for the Dirtbags to range over in all sorts of territory and play some great defense for this Falls team.
Indeed, Jack. We could also hear him calling
Now
the ball
batting
up
number
there in the
1,
press box as
Kyle.
well. Great communication.
Kyle Skutak steps to the plate.
So what do you think Kyle's bat there, Jack?
It's nice. It's very easily identifiable with the bright blue.
I got it.
Justin Jefferson is a favorite of Kyle Skutak. And his favorite musical group, this kind of threw me a little bit,
Okay.
the Beatles.
Oh, I like that. Going with the old school.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. Those are just classics.
Beach Boys,
Beach
Creedence,
Boys, the Eagles.
Eagles, absolutely. Neil Diamond.
0-1. Count evens. Bet you didn't think I knew who the Eagles were, Roger.
Ah.
I'm paying attention.
Jefferson Starship. Sills and Croft. Simon and Garfunkel. Guess My Age.
They're a good band.
2 balls, 1 strike on Skutak as Arteaga looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He's done a wonderful job at retiring the leadoff batter. He's done it in every inning today. But he's yet to have a 1-2-3 frame. 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Skutak. And it seems that every time that Falls has 2 outs under their belt, Greater Pittston, they just somehow find a way to keep the inning going. And to your earlier point, Roger, increase the pitch count.
Indeed. They've done a nice job on taking a lot of close pitches today, recognizing the strike zone in today's game.
Skutak's looking to walk on to the baseball team at St. Joseph's University.
Ah, the Hawks.
Yes. 3-1. Big swing and miss. Full count on Skutak. Arteaga trying to win this battle.
Arteaga seems to be taking more and more time between each offering, Jack. As we said, it is getting hot here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for the third and final out and the third strikeout of the day for Arteaga. He gets a nice clean 1-2-3 to get his Dirtbags back to the plate as we move into the bottom of the fifth for our fifth inning stretch, brought to you by our dear friends at Independence Health, formerly Excella Health Expert Care. Here, we'll be back with more Legion baseball action right here in Latrobe and on WSN.
672 602 672 602. You can collect your winnings.
I want to say hi to Ron Musto. He was all over it. Casey Noon, graduate of Wyoming area. Father Billy, a member of the 90 Greater Pittston Legion team that lost in the regional semifinal. And as we mentioned earlier, he pitched in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. That's Casey's dad. And he also says that Cincetti's father is a former member of the Greater Pittston family tradition. He played on the 1987 through 89 teams and was a solid hitting third baseman. Thank you, Ron.
According to the thermometer, it's 82 degrees.
Let's see what else. We
Downtown
have an email
Latrobe.
from James Jenkins.
So make sure you get something nice and cool, like a Dairy
How about
Queen
the umps having to stand for 7 innings in
from
the heat?
concession
How about a
stand.
shout out
We
to
have
the
Buster
umpires?
bars,
There's
chili
no
bars,
doubt about it.
Starkist bars,
You know, we always talk in
and
these
ice
long
cream
innings about the
sandwiches.
catchers,
So if
which
you need to
it's
cool
tough
off,
on them. It's tough for the umpires
head
too,
to
for
the
sure, because they don't even get
concession
to sit in the dugout for a while. So, good job by our umpiring
leading
crew
off
today.
for Falls, number 6, Wyatt.
Yes, a big shout out to our umpiring crew all week long as Wyatt Spinks gets the party started for Falls.
Wyatt Spinks stepping in. His favorite athlete is a little bit old school, Jack. Perhaps you've heard of Allen Iverson.
I have indeed. He is a legend in the basketball world. Popularized the crossover, I would say. Maybe Tim Hardaway did.
Or both.
Or both. 2-1 count on Spinks. So he looks to be the third leadoff batter to get on board to start the inning. 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a ground out. Trying to get back on first again.
Well, the Dirtbags have had runners on. They just haven't been able to produce once they do that.
Yeah, that's really been, I think, the case going even back to yesterday. I mean, obviously, maybe not as many runners getting on, but still just unable to convert and really bring home runs.
Yeah, you got to cash in.
Good block by Moser, and the count runs full on Spinks.
But I think this tournament here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania this year is a great experience for all of the ball players, their fans, and hopefully for all the fine folks representing Pennsylvania American Legion as well.
Ball 4, Spinks earns a leadoff walk for the third time today.
Now
The
batting
Dirtbags get the
number
leadoff
1,
runner aboard.
LJ
It puts LJ Nelson to the plate.
LJ Nelson, excuse me, is a fan of country music.
Going with the no batting gloves.
I like it.
Spinks takes off. Moser throws to second and not in time.
Pretty good throw. However, on the short hop, it was corralled by the shortstop, but the hop cost them. Runner in scoring position yet again. And in my day, Jack, there were no such things as batting gloves with our wooden bats. To this day, my wife gets mad because of the scent of pine tar during baseball season if I'm taking some swings different places. That stuff stinks. I said, no, I love it.
It's the smells of summer.
Yes.
Nelson prepares for a bunt.
Oh,
Pulls it back quickly, and good eye by him as goes ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes.
yeah, a lot of times the coaching staffs would call that a slash attempt. Shows bunt, draws the infielders in, then proceeds to a batting stance, and then look out.
Quick 3-0 count worked by Nelson.
Kind of reminiscent of first and third in a high school or college softball game. They're always up very, very close.
Low ball creeps closer and closer from first. 3 balls, 1 strike on Nelson.
Well, as we talked about yesterday in the games that you and I did together, many pitchers get distracted when the batter shows bunt that early, and it just messes with their concentration to a degree. Catcher calling a timeout now.
It's the 4th inning that Falls has had at least 1 runner in scoring position, so they have done a marvelous job at getting runners on. But again, to the previous point that, Roger, you and I continue to hammer home, just cannot bring any runs across the plate. But just the person you want at the plate to try and do that, L.J. Nelson, the team leader in RBIs with 22.
Yeah, number 3 hitter James Baker on deck.
3-1.
Comes our way.
Back-to-back full counts worked. Nelson laid down a beautiful sac bunt back in the first. Struck out swinging in the third, so trying to reach first for the first time today. Still no outs in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch. In the air. Cauley makes the catch. Great job by Cauley to communicate that he's got that ball in the infield. Shortstop is the king. In the outfield, it's the center fielder.
Yeah.
But great job by Cauley to really take command of that pop-up as James Baker comes to the plate.
Yeah, as Cauley called for the ball, the third baseman, Anthony Sensetti, retreated back to the third base bag in case there would be any possible tag up and possible advance by the base runner, Spinks.
In a game like this, little base running blunders, they can really come back to hurt you. So that's very important. Good heads up awareness by Spinks at second. Off he goes to third, and Moser doesn't even attempt to throw. Now the first run of the tournament end game for Falls once again, standing just 90 feet away with 1 out.
Okay, James Baker to the plate. We're going to go back in time again for his favorite musical group, Led Zeppelin.
It's another good one.
Yeah,
I like that. 3-0. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk handed over to James Baker by Petrosky. Puts runners at the corners with 1 out, and it prompts Coach Homza to again come out of the dugout.
Well, right now I would imagine this timeout is to give Petrosky a bit of a break and to also go over the defense, but we're going to have a pitching change by the looks of things. Looks like the dominoes are starting to fall as they are moving members of the greater Pittston lineup into various positions. We'll see if we can track them all down.
Yeah, that's always the fun thing during position changes, is trying to keep up with where everyone is going. It's teamwork, Roger. We'll definitely get it all figured out.
Yeah, we'll try to figure this out. Everyone, please bear with us.
So it looks that Anthony Sensetti has moved from third to the new pitcher. And Paul Rusinkovich is coming off the bench and is making his way to left field.
10 in, now hitting in the 7th spot.
So Rusinkovich is now hitting for Aiden Mihal,
No more DH.
which takes away the DH for Greater Pittston.
Now pitching for Greater Pittston, number 7, Anthony Sensetti. Next up, number 22, Eric
Petrosky
David.
winds up over at third.
Okay.
So to recap for you at home, Anthony Cincinnati moved from third to now pitcher. Sean Petrosky moved from pitcher to third, and then Paul Rusinkovich came in to play left. That eliminates the designated hitter out of the batting lineup for Greater Pittston. Right on cue for Petrosky to throw to second in time, and the double play not in time. Spinks trots home, and the first run of the game and tournament for the Falls comes across to make it 2-1. So can't get the twin killing, and Coach Homza comes out to appeal the call at first. Coach Homza in his second season as the manager, a 2021 graduate of Central Connecticut State. Had a nice chat with him the other day on the phone, Roger.
Yeah.
He and I shared our love for the NEC, the Northeast Conference, where CCSU hails from.
We gotta get back in, let's go.
Now batting, number 8, Ryan Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh to the plate.
Takes strike one.
Score is now 2-1.
Let's go.
I don't think that's Petrosky. I think Petrosky, I'm sure it's not.
Off goes David. Throw down. High, not in time. Two balls, one strike on Kavanaugh. Cincinnati looking to get out of this inning to try and strand another runner and avoid a second run coming across as David represents the tying run at second. Two, one. Hard hit ball that gets it to right. David rounds third. Here he comes home, and we're tied at 2.
Hard hit single over the outstretched glove of the second baseman by Kavanaugh. A bit of a bobble there in the outfield. I don't think the bobble did anything. The run was going to score irregardless.
Now batting
Two
number
outs in
20,
the inning.
Nate Gilson comes to the plate to continue the two-out lightning that the Dirtbags have found. All tied up at 2.
Then a shout out back home from Nate Gilson to Allie Gooder.
Off goes Kavanaugh. Throw down to second. Again, another one hopper. Moser has been on target, but it's just been a matter of the throw getting there in time, and now the second stolen base of the afternoon for Kavanaugh.
Pitch was a strike.
0-2. Roger, I want to correct myself. I believe Jack Mathis has moved from second to third.
Well, we'll get this once this
Get it all sorted
half
out.
inning comes to a close.
Launch to right, and that drops in. Kavanaugh rounds third. The throw by Bonomo. It's in time! What a tag by Moser! And the frozen rope thrown by Bonomo in right to prevent Falls taking a 3-2 lead.
Wow. Great action there by Falls. What a comeback.
What a comeback, and what a defensive job by Greater Pittston to keep us tied at 2. As we move into the 6th inning, things are getting interesting here in Game 1 of Day 2 of the state tournament. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right here on WSN.
Here's what you got. Okay. In the 2 spot, Matthews went from 2nd to 3rd. Okay. In the 3 spot, Cincetti went from 3rd
we gotta stay
to
up.
pitcher.
Everyone has to be up.
In the 7th spot, we have a new player, number 10. Okay. He is in left field. Down in the 9 spot, Casey New goes from left field to second base.
Don't forget, folks, as you're watching live to this game, it will be archived almost immediately after the live broadcast ends. You can go back and watch and listen to it. And all games here in the American Legion State Tournament at Rosa-Oglietti Park on the Westmoreland Sports Network are available on demand on our website, westmorelandsports.com. We're also streaming live today to our Facebook and YouTube channels. Typically, as you've seen throughout our broadcast yesterday, we do have a center field camera, but with the questionable weather, unfortunately, we do not have it up now, perhaps later in the day. Of course, as everybody knows how weather goes, it probably won't rain if it's not up, and once we put our cameras out, it'll start raining. So we're just going to kind of have to balance that out, but hopefully you're enjoying it. Roger and Jack are doing a great job of keeping you up to date with all of the great action here in this game, and now it's a tied game as we go to the top of the 6th.
Leading off for Greater Pittston, number 18.
What a turn of events we have here this
Vinny
afternoon in Latrobe,
Bonomo.
Pennsylvania. Greater Pittston surrenders their 2-0 lead, and Falls gets on the board to make it 2-2. However, Greater Pittston is able to prevent Falls from taking a lead after the great throw by Vinny Bonomo. And right on cue, Bonomo leads the inning off.
Bonomo, a fan favorite of the Sandlot.
Count evens. Bonomo 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to right, grounded out to short. So he's trying to get on first for the first time today. 1-1.
Nice pitch.
Good job by Bonomo to fight off the curveball. Arteaga's pitch count continues to increase, as that was just his 91st pitch.
105 is the max.
Count evens. No action in the Falls bullpen, at the moment at least. We have seen some action throughout the game, but not at the moment. 2-2. Weak grounder. Kenny. And another nicely fielded play by the second baseman. He has gotten a lot of action today, Roger, and he has been perfect all day.
Absolutely. Nice job by the second baseman. Up comes Paul Rosa-Oglietti.
Now batting,
first time
number
today.
10, Paul
Yes, Rosa-Oglietti.
Rosa-Oglietti.
Team nickname is Jerome. When I was talking with Coach Holmes, I thought that was actually his name that he went by, but it's not. Just on the nickname, just on the team.
Paul out of Scranton Prep. We'll send a shout out to his parents. And Paul's penmanship could use a little work. Parent is Joe, and I'm trying to make heads and tails out of his mom's name. It could be a K.
Count evens on Rosa-Oglietti. I believe that is Kristen.
Okay. Very good, Jack.
But if the Rosa-Ogliettis would like to email in and let us know, please do.
Yeah.
We invite all to email. Squares pulls it back and results in a called strike, and Rosa-Oglietti is 1 strike away from being punched out.
Paul is a fan of Chinese food.
Just his 12th at-bat of the entire Legion season. 1-2. Call, third strike. Arteaga with the paintbrush paints the outer corner, sits down Rosa-Oglietti for the second out.
Yes, indeed.
Now batting, number 21, Cameron Moser.
Cameron Moser comes to the plate.
Cameron Moser is a fan of jazz.
Rosa-Oglietti becomes the 6th consecutive batter retired by Arteaga, going back to the 4th inning. Roger, I figured it would be appropriate for me to point out Mr. Moser's bat since we talked about Mr. Skutak's bat. Curveball hums in for strike one.
Got to like the Skutak bat, light blue, the pink bat here of Moser.
Father's Day, Mother's Day, maybe?
Maybe there could be some sort of cancer symbols as well, as far as there are colors for every different types of cancer as well.
Launches it to left. Baker makes a catch. Looked like he had to shield the sun some, but nonetheless, 7 retired and back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Mateo Arteaga as the Dirtbags head to the dugout with a 2-2 tied score as we move to the bottom of the 6th right here and only on WSN.
One hundred on the dot. 100.
That's cool.
Yo, let's go right here. Yo, listen. Yo.
Yes.
100.
I gotta stay up.
Don't say that. To the third, right? One word you don't say in the third.
I'm looking at 90 players and 90 to 100 players. April 27th and
Here we go.
and basically how much
All tied at 2 as we move to the bottom of the 6th to see if the Dirtbags can take their first lead of not only today, Roger, but the entire state tournament as Alex Matlack gets things rocking and rolling for Falls.
Well, the Dirtbags have finally broken through that 0 on the scoreboard.
Ripped out to left center. Rosa-Oglietti to the track. See you later. Falls takes the lead off the solo shot by Alex Matlack.
Wow. What a bomb. Well struck over the left center field wall.
A moonshot off the bat of Matlack to give the Dirtbags their first lead of the entire tournament. And not to mention, give themselves much more wiggle room in this elimination showdown. Aiden Kenny swings through the first pitch. That was a home run swing from Kenny if I've ever seen one.
Indeed, he was trying to follow suit with his teammate Matlack.
Good movement on the slider by Kenny.
It's like rejuvenation in the dugout of the Dirtbags. They are loud and they are hungry.
They've been given second life, and I think they can also take full advantage of Greater Pittston. That's hit real hard out to left center. Rosa-Oglietti, back-to-back jacks. Aiden Kenny, can you believe it? Puts the Dirtbags on top, 4-2.
Wow. Hitting is contagious. Just ask the Dirtbags.
The bats finally getting down and dirty with Falls as they double up on Greater Pittston. And you can just see the jubilation from the dugout after being mercy ruled yesterday against Charleroi 10-0. Falls in an elimination game takes a 4-2 lead.
Now batting,
outs in
number
the inning.
33,
John Bagley, the new batter.
John Begley.
And for Anthony Sensetti, he has to regroup quickly and waste little time thinking about back-to-back homers.
Now, those things can happen, Jack, when you get a relief pitcher on the mound.
Quick 3-0 count on Bagley. Now Sensetti probably, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hit hard out to right.
Could be 2.
Bonomo can't get there. Bagley with a ton of speed. Motors to second, and it's another hit. 3rd consecutive. It's a double for Bagley.
Homer, double. Wow.
The offensive avalanche pouring in right now for Falls
Now batting, number
as the hits
6,
are starting to fall.
Spinks.
And Wyatt Spinks, representing the top of the order, strides into the batter's box. No outs in the inning.
What a turn of events here, Roger. Wow, we have been treated with quite a showdown.
And Mighty Mouse to the plate.
Squares, beautiful bunt. Mathis, and a nice throw to get the out. Great job by Jack Mathis, who was at second, now playing third. And Roger, I have to say, that's a big adjustment for him to make on the fly,
Now
especially with
batting.
the distance to throw.
Indeed, Jack, it is.
Number
But
1,
you gotta like the
LJ
mindset
Nelson.
of the Dirtbags. They get the runner, sacrifice, move him up 90 feet to LJ Nelson, the number 2 hitter in the lineup.
And Coach Holmes summons Rusinkovich from left. So the 4th pitcher to come on the mound for Greater Pittston this afternoon.
Okay, Noon's going to go back to left field, it looks like.
Guys, while you figure that out, I want to say hello to Stacy Nelson. Best of luck to Nate, Mateo, and my nephew, LJ. Go Dirtbags. Kelly Smith says, great throw, number 18. That's my boy. That play at the plate, which certainly you look back at that, could loom large depending on how this game comes to an end. But, wow, what an inning for Falls, Roger.
Indeed. You know what? Just, a baseball game, and we have said it numerous times, can change with one swing of the bat. And it actually changed on 3 swings of the bat and a bunt for the Dirtbags of Falls Legion.
For Greater Pittston, number 28, Tom Caslin.
One more, I want to say hi once again to Dave Schilling. Let's go Falls. Again from David Schilling there. He tweeted at us. You can do that too, at Westmoreland SN.
So that's okay. Pitcher went to left, 28 in the left field. 17. Okay, so who's at 6?
We're getting things all sorted out, as it's always a fun little game that Roger and I get to do with guess where that player is playing now.
Yes.
Thomas Carlin comes in to pitch, the Wyoming area high school member, as he's actually pitched in some very big games. Coach Steve Holmes called his pitching performance in the regional championship his best pitching performance of the season. He threw 94 of his pitches, 54 of them were strikes, had 6 Ks and 1 walk in that regional championship. So he has played in some very big games before.
He has. We'll send a shout out to his parents, Melissa
Now
and
batting,
TJ.
number
It
1,
looks that Sensetti
LJ
has gone back to
Nelson.
third, and then Mathis is back at second.
New player in the 7th spot, number 28. Yep. He's your pitcher. Yep. And then in the 9th spot, Noon goes back to 7th.
Things have just unraveled in this bottom 6th inning for Greater Pittston. Can't lay the bunt as Bagley with a bolt of speed from third.
You know what? You got to like the aggressiveness of the Falls coaching staff right there. If they get that bunt down from L.J. Nelson, they will increase this 4-2 lead. Infield is up on the grass.
Squares. Again goes foul. Nelson down to his final strike, so presumably will not try to lay down a bunt, but he did a great job laying one down back in the first inning.
Well, the infield's going to remain on the grass, and for those people unfamiliar with Rosa-Oglietti Park, yes, it is an all-natural surface here.
Team leader in RBIs in Nelson at 22, looking for his 23rd. 1-2. Count evens.
One out in the inning. Baker on deck.
2-2. Beautiful pitch. Called third strike. Nelson sat down for the second out.
Now batting.
Well, Nelson put himself in a hold
Now
by
batting,
being
number
unable
11,
to lay those bunt
James
down
Baker.
on the first two offerings from the pitcher.
That last pitch had some great movement on it. Could see it from our vantage point. James Baker steps in. Bagley anxiously waiting to be scored from third as the damage being felt by Greater Pittston. Back-to-back innings for Falls to put up 2 runs. Again, this is the first time this entire tournament that Falls has gotten on the scoreboard, and the first time this tournament that they have led. 1-1. Pulled third
Fair.
base, and it sneaks through. Bagley scores. It's 5-2. As Baker with an RBI single with 2 outs extends the Dirtbags lead.
Well hit right down the third base line.
Now batting, number 22, Eric David.
Eric David comes to the plate. And now you're dealing with first the team leader in RBIs who just picked up his 23rd of the season, and now the team leader in batting average in David at 417. Late jump by Nelson as it escapes from Moser, but nonetheless, another runner in scoring position for the Dirtbags.
You may have heard from the Falls dugout, another free one, a freebies we talk about. Pass ball, wild pitch, walk, hit by pitch.
1-0.
That's
Ripped
it well.
out to left. New looks up. See you later. I can't believe it. Another home run, the third of the inning. More runs tacked on, and it makes it 6-2 Falls.
Eric David with the blast.
Make it 7-2. Nonetheless, more runs tacked on. The third home run of the inning. And you can just tell that Greater Pittston right now is defeated, as all of their air in their balloon has been sucked out.
Kavanaugh.
The momentum has been grabbed by Falls.
Kavanaugh's a fan of rhythm and blues. I think Falls is located around Levittown, I believe, Jack. And I'm sure that the faithful of the Dirtbags are just truly enjoying baseball for the first time in 2 days.
Out of play. Well, looking at the stat sheet, it is Falsington, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
In Bucks County.
I think I'm in the right area.
Let's go! Hey!
1-2. Roger, I can't remember the last time I've seen 3 home runs hit in the same inning.
Well, they sailed out of here with absolutely no effort. They were well-struck baseballs.
2-2. Full count worked by Kavanaugh as the Dirtbags just will not go down for that third and final out for anything. 5-run spot to give them a 7-2 lead in the bottom of the 6th. And for anyone that is curious, Falsington is about 4 hours and 52 minutes from Latrobe.
All right.
Payoff pitch. Mathis. Third and final out completed, but lots of damage being done by the Falls Bats as the runs finally come together to give them a 7-2 lead as Greater Pittston is down to their final 3 outs of the entire state tournament. We'll see if they can keep this ball game going and their state hopes alive right here and only on the WSN.
Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone ordered extra T-shirts, they are located near the concession stand.
Give a shout out to Wayne
They are in.
Ostrowski.
So
Let's
you
go
can go to the
Falls.
concession stand to
And
pick those
again,
up.
what an inning.
Let's go. Let's go.
They were up to check. They know.
Let's go, baby. Everyone up.
Maybe just making a straight turn. That would be good. What do you do?
Now pitching for Falls, number 6, Wyatt Spinks.
I'll get out of here.
Yeah. I wish I remembered after.
16 for 8, no more DH.
What's
Six
that, sir?
no pitching. 16 for 8.
16 for 8.
Stovall, not. Yeah. Stovall in for Kavanaugh. Shortstop with the pitch. All the rest of the field.
So is it? Well, there's all the last 16, which is Chase Stover. Yes.
Chase Stover is now shortstop.
Yes. And there is no DH.
Do you want to hop on air share your thoughts on this one?
More of an inning.
Just be like, hey man, how's it going back there? And what do you think of this crazy game from the controller? You're watching it, aren't you? Turn it on YouTube. If Greater Pittston loses, they're done, right?
That's correct.
I want to make sure I'm not losing my mind.
Leading off for Greater Pittston.
Greater Pittston
Number
down to their
17,
final 3 outs.
Casey
And Roger, I can't
Noon.
believe I'm saying that as they carried a 2-0 lead with
Right.
them through first 4 innings. It was 1-0 and then eventually 2-0 after the 4th. And then 2 runs to tie it by Falls in the bottom of the 5th. And then the 5-run spot that we're just now trying to relax ourselves from in the bottom of the 6th to take a 7-2 lead. As it's Casey Noon that leads things off for Greater Pittston.
Chase Stover into the game pitching. We'll say hello to his parents, Catherine and Mark.
Okay, at the top, it goes 6-1 in the 3 spot. Baker at second base. In the 5 spot, new player, 16. Left field.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Casey Noon.
Okay.
1-2. Count evens.
7 spot, Madeline, shortstop. 8 spot, 10, third base. That should have.
Poke to left. In comes Stover. And the recently checked in Chase Stover takes care of the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting, number 5, Jeremy Cawley.
Kenny is now
Getting some continuous pitch or positional changes as Wyatt Spinks, the new pitcher on the mound for Falls. First pitch strike to the new batter in Jeremy Cawley. Greater Pittston down to their final 2 outs. Ripped hard to left. A 1-out single to give a little bit of life for Greater Pittston by Jeremy Cawley.
Colley representing the top of the order. Well, right now, if you are Greater Pittston,
Now
you have
batting,
your,
number 8, Jack.
at least on paper, your best hitters coming up. 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Jack Mathis stepping in.
Just to get everybody caught up on the changes, Wyatt Spinks, the new pitcher. The first pitch comes in called strike to Mathis. And now Kenny's over at third. Chase Stover is in left field. And James Baker's over at second. I believe I've got all those changes. Everybody else stays put where they were before.
Come now, Jack. Here we go. Come on, kid. Come on, kid.
No DH remaining in the game for either squad.
1-1. Whiff by Mathis to go down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Jack. Hey, he means nothing. Let's go, Ray. 1-8. Here we go. Let him go. He means nothing.
I think there's something to also be said about a team that when they're facing elimination and especially trailing late in the ball game and they can just crank it up a notch like that, I think that's a dangerous thing that if other teams that are here are paying attention, they need to keep very close watch of if they have to play the Dirtbags.
Well, if things don't change, somebody will entertain the Dirtbags tomorrow.
Well, Falls is definitely living up to their name, the Dirtbags. Just doing anything and everything they can to crawl their way back into it. But, Roger, as you made a good point about yesterday, those final 3 outs, those are the hardest outs to get.
Very, very difficult. 1 out, 1 on, 2-2 the count.
Spinks is having a lot of time, or excuse me, trouble time with Colley over at first. It's about the 4th time he's disengaged from the rubber. Colley takes off finally and hit and run on. Mathis fouls it off.
Now, I'm not coaching the Dirtbags. I don't know Spinks. But in this situation, the runner at first at most represents 1 run. The score is 7-2. I would like to see his focus maybe perhaps a little bit more on the gentleman with the bat in his hands in the batter's box.
2-2. Just misses outside. A good spot for Spinks to try and paint, but does not get the call.
Come on, kid. Come on, kid.
Tell you what, the home plate umpire today has done a very, very good job with consistency, and that's all you want as a pitcher, a catcher, or a batter.
Swing and a miss. Coach Holmes came out to argue. It did sound like it was foul tipped, but
it may have bounced off the dirt portion around home plate. The umpires are going to talk about it right now.
And it's great we have a 4-man umpiring crew for the state tournament, such a luxury that not many players get to enjoy, and it always allows for things like this to get cleaned up. An extra set, or really an extra 3 sets of eyes, can allow for things like missed calls to be eliminated.
Yeah, sometimes with the 2-man umpiring crew, and they do a real nice job. Oh, he's out. They're calling him out on the strikeout.
So they converge, get together, and they conclude that Mathis has been sat down. And now Greater Pittston's Legion season rests on the shoulders of Anthony Sensetti as he represents the final out of the ball game. And this could be such a huge morale and really confidence booster for Falls.
Here we go. Let's go, Ed. Here you go, kid. Here you go, kid. Come now. Come now.
0-1. Popped up. Gilson takes care of it. Spinks lets out a bow, and Falls takes it by a final 7-2 to send Greater Pittston home in the 2023 Pennsylvania American Legion Baseball State Tournament, as Greater Pittston ultimately unable to get any wins during their time in the state tournament as they fall to now 16-6 overall. And Roger, just a tough way for this team to go home after they were leading through 4 innings.
Yeah, you know what? They have nothing to be ashamed of. They made it to the state tournament, one of 8 teams still standing. And that just goes to show you, Jack, the craziness of the game of baseball. One swing, one pitch, one throw changes everything.
Well, we'll take a quick break and get ourselves ready for some post-game fun, as we'll have our player of the game interview coming up in just a few minutes. Folks, don't go too far, as we've got not only post-game interviews, but also tons, and I mean tons, more of baseball coverage here in the PA American Legion Baseball State Tournament 2023. Don't go anywhere. There's a final here. Falls 7, Greater Pittston 2.
Yeah, Matt left. Because he walked and hit by a section finally home.
150 first pitch. 150.
The first pitch of this next game will be at 150. 150. 50.
Let's get this cleaned up.
Yeah, don't have much time in between games, so we're just going to tell you the roster at the beginning.
I'll get that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll wait. I'll wait till you get this, I'll get the team.
Sir, we have a finished pitch count for Spanx.
Pitch count for Sting. Does anybody have it?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second.
Take your time.
He was under 30.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yeah. 14.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. As long as he's under 30, it doesn't matter.
sir. Yeah, I
He's
wanted to
good
make
for you.
sure,
Yeah, 14.
Stay rock. You.
Johnny!
Stay rock.
Coach Cinco was good. Johnny! Yeah, where did he go? Coach Cinco was Johnny!
Welcome into the post-game show, now joined by Alex Matlack of the winning team, Falls Dirtbags, 7-2. First off, my friend, you guys finally get on the board after getting blanked yesterday by Charleroi. How does it feel not only to get a win, but also just see some offensive production?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, yesterday we didn't play our best game, didn't have the best offense. And today we had a talk, kind of knew we had to step it up. We started off a little rough. First pitcher was a really good pitcher. Hard to get hits off him and stuff. So we luckily had some good ABs, got him out the game. Started getting to the bullpen, and the bats started coming. And, yeah, got the offense going.
I know you were officially 1 for 1 because you walk, you get hit by a pitch, and then the home run out to left field to take a 3-2 lead. Talk me through that at-bat and what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going up there. I love getting early in the ABs and looking first pitch fastball, and that's what I did. And luckily, I got a pitch to just drive. Got all of it.
You definitely did get all of that, and then your teammate in Aiden Kenny follows up with a home run. So obviously, as the old saying goes, hitting is contagious.
Yeah.
But how do you keep this going into tomorrow and into the rest of the tournament, especially with already one loss under your belt? So every single game, you're kind of playing with your backs against the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I trust all my guys over there in our dugout. We just got to keep putting bat on ball, playing good defense behind our pitchers. Pitchers have been really great over the whole season. So as long as we play our game, I think we'll do fine.
How are you guys able to stay focused when you're still trailing through most of the game, right? You're down 2-0 up until about the 5th inning.
Yeah.
How do you guys stay focused, especially, again, as your season is potentially coming to a close?
Well, we know that we can do anything as this ball club. We've come down from big deficits before in the season, walked it off a couple of times on other good teams. So we always know to just keep in the back of our head that it's not over and always have fight in us.
Well, what's the plan to celebrate the big win? Any fun things with your teammates for the rest of the day?
Go back to the hotel, get some food, maybe hop in the pool, chill with the family, stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, hot day, get off your legs and get into a pool. Great job today, Alex, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you,
absolutely.
sir.
Alex Matlack of Falls Dirtbags as they take a 7-2 win over Greater Pittston. Thanks so much for joining us as we'll have coverage of Game 2 coming up in just a little bit. Don't go too far as we've got lots of action right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
It was 20 at the time they said it.
For our announcer. Thank you. What is your first name?